Well, we're definitely working our way through February, and it is time for our Allied Cooperative program. I've got Tom Hoffman. He's the agronomy sales lead out of Marshfield. And even though it is February, it's always a good time to keep looking ahead and planning for that spring planting. What's some of the first things that you think of when we say planning for spring planting?
As we invest money into trying to grow good crops, we do need to plan for success. And none of us should plan for failure. If we're going to plan for failure, then we shouldn't even be doing it. But as we plan for success, doing things like, securing good seed varieties, but I would say knowing, evaluating what worked well in the past, but what we want to continue to do in the future, plan for maybe some new things that we want to try. But there are some simple, basic things. We need to make sure that we have good, proper plant nutrition, having enough plant food, having the right levels of plant food, so that the crop can grow well, controlling pests, making sure that we're using proper products to control weeds, control insects, control diseases. When we do those things to make sure we have a healthy crop, and plan for that, and then the likelihood of us having a good crop increases. Yes, there's a few things like Mother Nature we don't completely control. We don't control at all, but certainly we can. There's other things that we have control of, and we need to plan to do those things well that we have control of.
And as an agronomy sales lead for Allied Cooperative, are you able to help a farmer switch up if they decide to take a different path when it comes to that spring planting?
Yeah, certainly we can. Sometimes we get situations where maybe some acres get switched, and maybe it could be due to market things. Could be, example, maybe there's winter kill on alfalfa, and then maybe there's some other fields that have to get seeded down, and maybe a hayfield gets ripped up and put into corn per se, or a different crop. So we can help with that and determine what the crop needs may be and the steps to help ensure that success. Those are things we do regularly, and our agronomy advisors are very capable, willing, and knowledgeable to helping making those decisions that are best on behalf of the producer.
And what about the supplies of the seeds and the fertilizers? Is Allied always able to stay up to date with those supplies?
I do think seed this year, the industry seems like it's doing very well. As I've said before, there are select seed varieties that'll run out, but that's getting to be the new norm. You can have some very good performing hybrids, and they can run out. And the seed companies, I don't want to say do that by design, but it's just kind of the way it happens. Crop protection products, we make sure that we do everything we can to secure everything. Plant food, same thing. And we've been able to do very well with things. We'll start the season with our buildings full. Certainly there's in our new climate here. We'll see how costs and how things play out. But nonetheless, I do feel that there is good supplies. We'll have good supplies, and we'll be here to fulfill whatever needs that we need to have on behalf of the farmer.
And it's always good to keep track of what that planting looks like when it does come to the springtime. Are you available to do some of those analyzations out there when we get the field going?
Yeah, certainly ourselves, our whole agronomy staff is very capable of making farm visits, to be looking at fields, making diagnosis, where the crop is performing well, maybe where there's a need, maybe there's weeds, some other improvements that may be necessary if necessary. So no, I would encourage our growers and the people that we work with that we do want to make farm visits and to help them analyze their crop and make sure that it's progressing like it should be.
Well, that's our Allied Cooperative program for this Wednesday morning. Planning ahead for spring planting, and then looking at those crops as they grow with Tom Hoffman. He's the agronomy sales lead out of Marshfield. And I'm Jill Welke.